People are calling this the best vegan pesto pasta on the internet, and it's been viewed over 4 million times. Today, I'm putting it to the test, and at the end, I'm giving it a score based on taste, effort, cost, and whether it's actually worth the hype. Enough waffling, let's see what it's all about. The full ingredient list I'll put here. The main stars of the show: cherry tomatoes, spaghetti, cream cheese. If you're a vegetarian, you can use normal cream cheese. If you're vegan, you better get your wallets ready because this thing was expensive. You'll also want basil and vegan pesto. If you're a vegetarian, be careful of normal pesto because some of them can have meat products. And you also want some good quality olive oil. Since I was too lazy to use my oven, I decided to use my trusty air fryer, since if somebody can make a cake in one, I can make pasta in one. So adding the tomatoes in. How did I already mess up the first part of this recipe? Then we're going to oil up our tomatoes. For seasoning, we're going to do salt, mixed herbs, and black pepper. We're going to mix it up, and it's already looking pretty good, even before cooking. Then we're just going to slam it into the air fryer and cook it for around 10 minutes. While that's cooking, we can go ahead and salt our water and cook our pasta. At this point, I didn't realize it yet, but I accidentally added 500 grams instead of 300 grams of pasta, which definitely caused some problems later on. After 10 minutes, our cherry tomatoes are looking nice. Now the recipe says to add some pesto in, then our very expensive cream cheese. Now we're going to mix it around to get our nice creamy pesto sauce. By now our pasta is ready and we can place it up with the sauce for the final presentation. Instead of adding the pasta into the sauce like in the video, I decided to do it separately because I wanted it to look nice until I realized I didn't have a ladle big enough to make a serving for a person and not a little mouse. Then we're going to chop up some basil with scissors because I don't want to ruin the no knife streak of this recipe. Now that our chopped basil is ready, it's time to present the dish. We're going to add our pasta into a larger plate and move it around so it looks a little bit more organized. We're going to top it off with a little more sauce, our shredded basil, and some cheese. Not gonna lie, the presentation absolutely saved this dish from being a plain looking pasta. Since my family was hungry, I got robbed of my dish, but I made a small one so I could give it a little taste test. Remember, we're judging this recipe based on its taste, cost, effort, hype, and would I make it again? Enough said, let's see if it's really worth it. This recipe gets 3 out of 5 stars for taste, mainly because it tastes like a regular pesto pasta, except with a different texture because of the cream. And for this recipe, there's nothing mind-blowing about it. However, when it comes to cost, apart from vegan cream cheese, which is a little bit pricey, I think this recipe is pretty affordable for vegetarians, and it's alright for vegans as well. For that reason, I'm going to give it 2 stars for cost. Now for effort. One thing that I love about this recipe is that there's very little effort required because, as you saw, there was very little chopping, there was very little technique, and everything was just thrown into the oven or air fryer. Because of that, I'm going to give it a 1 star for effort just because of how easy it was to make. Now to answer the question, does this recipe actually live up to the hype? For me, I'm going to say yes, because I think that because it was so simple, that's why it was so viral and gained so many views. And finally, would I make it again? Absolutely. This recipe, and I've said it over and over again, is extremely easy to do and extremely low effort. It's easy to modify, You can add as many vegetables as you want, and you could probably throw it together in half an hour. Overall, I'm going to give this recipe a 6.9 out of 10. And a stamp of Veggie Hedgie approval. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soy boys and soy girls in the next one. Roll the camera!